So there's something out there called Career Dreamer. I saw it on Google today and I was like, I wonder what that is. Turns out it's some AI slop. And I'm going to talk about that one here because I actually tried using it and it's absolute trash. And I'll walk you through why. I'm John. Glad you're back here. So let's jump into that one. I pulled it up, and what it asks you to do is put in what your most recent job or a job description is that you've had. And then it asks you questions of what you did, and it reads out like estimations of what common job activities might have happened in that role. And it says, what things did you like about this job, or what did you excel at in this job, blah, blah, blah. And then it basically says, okay, let's give you a readout. And it takes this general database approach to saying, well, here's what you did. Here are jobs that you could do as your career progresses or you could move into. And I did this for two examples. My current job, which I know pretty well, I kind of know what I could move into already. I was just curious what it would say. And it was giving me everything under the sun, including super niche, little weird things that had nothing to do with what I could actually go and do tomorrow if I wanted to realistically get a job. And it was also giving me suggestions that I know on average are paid less than what I do right now. And it would be very, very hard for me to find one of those jobs that equals or is higher in pay than what I do. So I thought to myself, well, that's unusual. I'm a business analyst. It's kind of a nicher thing than, a typical role. So I was like, okay, well, I used to have a lot of material handlers reporting to me when I was running the facility. So I typed in material handler and went through and, checked out the boxes on what a typical guy might have on his background. And it started kicking out the same sort of slop results. It was, oh, here's production assistant would be a good option for you, production operator, or you could go and you could be a inventory clerk or whatever it might be. The same kind of variety of slop that it kicked out the last time. Also, it said you should be a supply chain manager. I'm thinking there's probably 2 to 3 steps between material handler to supply chain manager for most people. And sure, they call it career dreamer or whatever the hell it's called. Um, so it's like aspirational, but I clicked on the supply chain manager thing. And it said, go get certified in APIX, which is an industry certification you can get for supply chain purchasing sort of roles. But that still wouldn't remotely qualify you to make that move in a near time frame. It should have said like, hey, here's how you get to a supply chain manager. You move from material handler to lead of this warehouse or supervisor to this, where you could do system work, and then you could be a supply chain manager once you've learned the systems and the profitability and all that stuff. So even looking at a more common job that is, I'd say, more broad than what I have, it's still just missed the mark because it's dropping a bunch of database garbage on you. Is really what it's doing. The other thing that really irked me about this is if you look at the way it wrote like some gender fluid weirdo in an academic setting in a college would write. Flowery wording, all sorts of, like 3, 4 syllable words that were completely unnecessary for what it was trying to convey. And it had this like, I don't even know how to describe it. You get these weird guys from like the manosphere that they act like they're some sort of like opportunity and like life coach, and they kind of do the hoorah rah thing. That's what the AI was trying to do, but missing the mark because it was like this soulless machine. And this is just terrible. They should annex or not annex. They should 86 the Google Dreamer thing or Career Dreamer, whatever the hell they called it now, and just not do that. I mean, I don't like making negative videos, but this was just not a helpful thing. There's a lot of people out there who could get realistic, reasonable advice many, many places that is more tailored to them than this generic garbage being kicked out by some AI, database. So unimpressed with that one. Highly unimpressed with that one. Don't use that one if you actually want anything interesting. If you want a good laugh, you go in there and type some stuff into the Dreamer and see what it has for you.